Part of the problem with this whole thing was, Tamar, is that I was never comfortable with the relationship that you and Mendeecees had in front of me, okay? All of that, you at the music video shoot in your shorts, sitting on top of him meeting us up at restaurants every time we met up, I was very uncomfortable with it. And if we gonna tell it, let's tell it all.
A few months ago, Tamar Braxton got on social media and made some very alarming statements. She claimed that she woke up in a pool of her own blood with multiple teeth missing and absolutely no memory of what happened to her that night. Now, when I tell you the internet went into a frenzy trying to figure out what happened to this woman, baby, people were concerned. People were scared. People were confused because Tamar was being very vague about the whole situation. All she would say was that she went to a friend's birthday party, came home like she normally would, and then woke up the next day in this horrific condition. She even said she needed surgery because of whatever happened to her. And y'all know how the internet works. When you don't give people answers, they're gonna start making up their own. And that's exactly what happened. Now here's where things start to get messy. People started putting two and two together and realized that the friend's birthday party Tamar was talking about was actually a party she threw for Funky Dineva. For those who don't know, Funky Dineva is a popular YouTuber and blogger who's been in the entertainment commentary space for over a decade now. So the internet, doing what the internet does best, decided that Funky must have been responsible for whatever happened to Tamar. I mean, he was the last person known to be with her that night, right? So it must have been him. Baby, people started dragging this man through the mud.
I want to know what all the hell going on. I want to know what's going on too, bitch, okay? The lady got on the internet and said she almost died. Now listen, let me just go ahead and get this out the way, okay? Before we even get to the top of the show, I don't know what happened to the lady. Okay, for those of y'all that don't know, I'm talking about Tamar Braxton. I don't know what happened to the lady.
They were calling him a woman beater. They were calling him a terrible friend. They were saying he attacked Tamar after she did something nice for him by throwing him a birthday party. And all of this was happening without a single shred of evidence. Without any confirmation from Tamar herself, people just decided Funky was guilty, and that was that. Now, put yourself in Funky's shoes for a second. Imagine someone you considered a friend lets the entire internet believe you physically harmed them when you know you didn't do anything. How would you feel? So what does Funky do? He reaches out to Tamar and asks her to clear his name. And honestly, his request was so simple. All he wanted was for Tamar to hop on her Instagram stories and say something like, "Hey guys, just want to clarify that Funky Dineva had nothing to do with what happened to me. Please leave him alone." That's it. That's all she had to do. It would have taken her 30 seconds to type that out and post it. But did she do it? No, she did not. Instead, Tamar kept throwing subtle shade at Funky. She kept making little comments here and there that made people think he was somehow involved. She refused to defend him publicly, and according to Funky, she wouldn't even give him a straight answer privately.
Are you aware of what really happened to you?
No, I'm not.
Or can you talk about what
I can talk
happened?
about it, but I'm not aware of what really happened to me.
Yeah.
All I know is that I went to a friend's birthday party. I gave a friend a birthday party.
Mm-hmm.
Hello.
You thought was your friend.
Well, we ain't even gonna touch on that.
Yeah.
I came home like I would normally do.
And this went on for weeks, y'all. Weeks. This man's reputation was being destroyed in real time, and the one person who could stop it was choosing to stay silent. Now, Funky warned her. He said multiple times that if she didn't clear his name, he was gonna have to start talking. He was gonna have to tell people what he actually witnessed that night. But Tamar didn't seem to take that threat seriously. Big mistake, huge. So fast forward a little bit, and Tamar decides to do an interview on The Morning Hustle with L'Oreal. And in this interview, she brings up the whole incident again. Now, nobody made Tamar do this interview. She could have stayed home and kept quiet and let the whole thing die down, but no. She wanted to get back in the spotlight and address the situation on her own terms. During the interview, when they asked her if she knew what happened to her, she said, and I quote, "No, I'm not aware of what really happened to me." She then went on to say that all she knows is she went to a friend's birthday party and gave a friend a birthday party before coming home like she normally would. Now, did y'all catch that? Did you hear the way she said a friend? With that tone, she was clearly implying that this person wasn't really her friend. She was throwing shade at Funky without saying his name directly.
Because if that's the term that we're going by, inappropriate relationship, the person is claiming that you had an inappropriate relationship. If that's the thing that we're hanging on to, then baby, you Mr. Walker, you don't even want to waste your time sending me nothing on your fax paper, because the relationship was extremely inappropriate.
But here's where it gets really interesting. During this same interview, they asked Tamar about Mendeecees, and her response was, well, let me tell you what she said. She claimed that she barely even knows him. She said, and I quote, "We're cool, but he's not like my homie. It's not like that." She basically acted like Mendeecees was just some random guy she worked with on a project and that there was no personal relationship there. Remember that. Hold on to that, because it's about to become very important. Now, when Funky Dineva saw this interview, baby, that was the last straw. He had tried to handle this privately. He had tried to be the bigger person. He had asked Tamar repeatedly to just tell the truth and clear his name. And instead, she went on national radio and continued to paint him as the bad guy while lying about her relationship with Mendeecees. So Funky did what Funky does best. He got on his platform and he started talking. And what he said, Chile, I was not prepared. None of us were prepared. Funky claimed that the reason he didn't follow Tamar upstairs to her apartment that night was because of what he witnessed between her and Mendeecees in the car on the way to her house. According to Funky, Tamar was sitting on Mendeecees' lap in the Uber, and they were kissing, like full on making out in the back seat of this car while Funky was right there. He said it made him extremely uncomfortable, and when they got to Tamar's building, he decided to just get in his own car and go home.
Okay, check my lawsuit record. Stayed in court with Sheree, stayed in court with Chris Stokes, stayed in court with XYZ Company, stayed in court with Music Company. And I'm here to let you know, baby, it's going to take more than a little piece of statement on a lawyer's. It's going to take more than a little piece of statement on your lawyer's letterhead claiming rumors about an inappropriate relationship to scare me.
Because clearly, Tamar and Mendeecees wanted to be alone. Now remember, this is the same Mendeecees that Tamar claims she barely knows. The same Mendeecees who is married to Yandy Smith. That Mendeecees. But wait, it gets worse. Funky then dropped the biggest bombshell of the entire situation. He claimed that it wasn't just Tamar and Mendeecees who went up to her apartment that night. According to Funky, there was a third person, a man described as Mendeecees' best friend. So we have Tamar, Mendeecees, and Mendeecees' friend all going upstairs to Tamar's apartment together. And Funky went home. Now, Funky said that if anybody knows what happened to Tamar's teeth that night, it would be Mendeecees and his friend, because they were the ones who were with her. And then he said something that made the entire internet gasp. He suggested that whatever happened to Tamar that night happened while she was with those two men. He implied that maybe things got, let's say, intimate and something went wrong. I'm not going to repeat exactly what he said because, well, y'all can look it up yourselves. But he basically suggested that whatever injury Tamar sustained might have occurred during a, shall we say, adult situation that went left. Now, I want to be very clear here. These are allegations. These are claims that Funky Dineva is making. We don't have concrete proof of what happened that night. Only Tamar, Mendeecees, and the other man truly know. But Funky put this out there for the world to hear, and he stood by it completely. But Funky wasn't done, y'all. He kept going. He started describing specific incidents that he claims he witnessed between Tamar and Mendeecees that proved they had more than just a casual acquaintance relationship. He talked about a dinner at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse, where he was sitting at the table with Tamar and Mendeecees. According to Funky, during this dinner, Mendeecees had his hand between Tamar's thighs, rubbing on her underneath her dress at a restaurant in public with Funky sitting right there. Now that doesn't sound like two people who barely know each other, does it? But it gets even crazier. Funky claimed that during one of their conversations, he overheard Tamar Mendeecees discussing him releasing a public statement saying that he and Yandy were no longer together. According to Funky, Mendeecees had actually drafted a version of this statement using ChatGPT, and Tamar was coaching him on how to rewrite it to make it sound more authentic and personal. Think about that for a second. If Funky is telling the truth, that means Mendeecees was planning to publicly announce a separation from Yandy for Tamar. Funky also claims that when he questioned Tamar about the situation, she told him that Mendeecees and Yandy weren't really married. She said they just do that for the show and that their marriage wasn't real. Now, whether that's true or not, I cannot confirm, but that's what Funky says Tamar told him. Well, she did what a lot of people do when they're exposed. She got lawyers involved. Tamar had her legal team send Funky Dineva a cease and desist letter. In this letter, they referred to the allegations as rumors about an inappropriate relationship and demanded that Funky stop speaking on the matter publicly. Tamar also released her own statement saying that these rumors were hurtful not just to her, but to all the families involved. She implied that if the rumors continued, legal action would be taken. Now, notice what Tamar did not do. She did not actually deny the specific claims Funky made. She didn't say, I was never kissing Mendeecees in that car. She didn't say, no one was rubbing on my thighs at Ruth's Chris. She didn't address any of the specific allegations. She just called them rumors and threatened to sue. A lot of people noticed that, and a lot of people found it very telling. Now, if Tamar thought that a lawyer's letter was going to shut Funky Dineva up, she clearly doesn't know who she's dealing with, because Funky got on his platform and basically laughed at the threat. He said, and this is almost word for word, it's going to take more than a little piece of statement on a lawyer's letterhead to scare me. He reminded everyone that he has been in this industry for 14 years. He has been sued multiple times by multiple people. He mentioned being in court with Sheree, with Chris Stokes, with various music companies, and he's still standing. He basically said, I've dealt with better lawyers than yours, and I'm still here, so bring it. And then he said something that I think really drove the point home. He said, if inappropriate relationship is the term they want to use, then baby, the relationship was extremely inappropriate. And he's more than happy to explain exactly how inappropriate it was in a court of law. Funky made it very clear that he is not backing down. If anything, he seemed excited about the possibility of a lawsuit because it would mean everything comes out in discovery. All the receipts, all the evidence, everything. Now, here's where I want to take a step back and give y'all some context. Because according to a lot of people online, this isn't the first time Tamar has been accused of this type of behavior. There were rumors years ago about Tamar being involved with Jermaine Dupri's father. Yes, you heard that right. That was a whole situation back in the day that a lot of people have now brought back up. And apparently, Tamar's own sister Tawanda has hinted at knowing about some of Tamar's, let's call them questionable decisions when it comes to other people's relationships. So for a lot of people watching this situation unfold, this isn't shocking, it's a pattern. And it makes Funky's claims seem more credible because it's not like this would be completely out of character based on what people have heard before. I also want to point out something that Funky said that I found really interesting. He suggested that maybe Tamar set this whole thing up, that maybe she knew exactly what she was doing when she brought him around all of this drama, knowing full well that he's a blogger and a YouTuber. He questioned whether Tamar wanted this information to come out all along, whether she was using him to expose the situation for some reason. Now, that's a theory. I don't know if it's true, but it's definitely something to think about. So where does this leave us? We have Funky Dineva standing firmly by his claims and saying he's ready to take this to court if necessary. We have Tamar Braxton hiding behind lawyer letters and not actually addressing the specific allegations. And we have Mendeecees. Well, Mendeecees has been pretty quiet through all of this, which is interesting in itself. And then there's Yandy. Poor Yandy. Whether any of this is true or not, she's the one who has to deal with the fallout of her husband's name being dragged through this mess. I think the biggest question right now is, will this actually go to court? Because if it does, discovery is going to be very interesting. Lawyers can subpoena records, phone records, surveillance footage, witness testimony. If there's evidence out there that proves or disproves any of these claims, it's gonna come out. And honestly, I think that's exactly what Funky wants. He seems very confident in what he knows, and he's not running from a legal battle. Tamar, on the other hand, I don't know if she actually wants this in front of a judge, because the way Funky is talking, he's got receipts, and in court, you can't just call something a rumor and make it go away.